Welcome back, traveller. The room is just as you left it. The window, the dark, the quiet hills, and beyond them, the same patient stars. Settle into your bed, let the blankets take the weight of the day, and breathe out, slowly. You know how this works by now. Nothing is required of you here. Last time, you and I crossed the whole of our solar system together, from the fire of the sun to the cold edge of its breath. If you slept through some of it, or all of it, that was the point. The planets do not take attendance. And neither do I. There is something I should tell you about this room, traveller. It is not really a room anymore. On these nights, it is a vessel. The blankets are the hull. The pillow is the helm you never need to touch. And the window is the bridge, looking out over the longest ocean there is. You have made this crossing with me before. In your own way, every single night of your life. Falling asleep is always a journey into the dark, and you have never once failed to make it. So there is nothing to learn tonight, and nothing to do. Your breathing already knows the way. Notice how it has begun to slow, all by itself, like a ship easing out of the harbour, without a sound, without a weight. Here is what tonight holds, so your mind can stop wandering and start drifting. We will slip past the last, strangest worlds of home. We will cross the widest, calmest ocean there is. And by the end, we will stand in the light of 3 new suns and look back at our own from the far shore. That is the whole itinerary. Nothing on it requires you to stay awake. Tonight, we go farther. Tonight, we cross the great dark itself, the ocean between our star and the next ones. And we will not hurry, because nothing out there hurries. So close your eyes. Let the room dissolve into starlight around you one more time. Here we are again, at the doorstep. You know this place. We stood here together at the end of our last journey, where the sun's long breath finally rests against the older wind between the stars. There is no need to explain it twice. Thresholds are not for studying, traveller. They are for pausing on, one breath, and then stepping over. One thing is different about tonight's leaving, and it is worth savouring. Nothing we pass from here on has ever been touched, or named from up close, or photographed by anything of ours, except 2 small machines. We are entering the part of the map that is still mostly map, drawn from starlight, inferred from whispers, waiting patiently to be wrong in interesting ways. The unknown, at this pace, is not a thrill, traveller. It is a wide, dark meadow, and we are the slowest, calmest explorers it will ever receive. Listen to how the crossing sounds, like nothing at all. No hull creak, no wind, no border post. The quietest doorway in existence, and we are drifting through it in slippers. Somewhere far behind, the porch light of home shrinks by one more shade, and ahead, the night opens like a book with very soft pages. Now that we are through, take one slow look over your shoulder. Somewhere behind us, folded into that small golden glow, the whole household lies asleep. The giant with its red storm, the ringed one in its thin silver halo, the little heart-shaped glacier turning over in its dream. We visited every one of them, you and I. They are all still there, all still turning, all exactly as we left them. A house never stops being home just because you step off the porch. And a little farther on, past the last sleeping outposts of home, begins the sky that belongs to no one. Every night of your life has been spent inside the sun's household, under its weather, inside its light. Soon we will be guests of the open galaxy. But a house does not end at its front door, traveler. Home will walk beside us a while yet, the way a warm hallway follows you toward bed. Before the true dark begins, we pass the strangest citizens of home. Out here, scattered far beyond the tidy orbits of the planets, drift the far wanderers, small frozen worlds on paths so wide and so lonely that some of them have never been warm and never will be. The first of them glows a deep, dusty red in our lights. Sedna, one of the loneliest worlds ever found. Sedna's year lasts 11,000 of ours. The last time it came this close to the sun, humans were just beginning to build the first villages. It will swing out now into a coal 3 times deeper than Pluto's, and it will not return until our calendars have long forgotten their current names. And yet, it keeps its appointment precisely, patiently, as everything out here does. Nothing on Sedna has ever hurried. Nothing on Sedna ever will. Sedna was found in 2003 by astronomers comparing photographs of the sky taken hours apart, looking for the one faint dot that had crept. They named it for the Inuit goddess of the sea, who lives at the bottom of the cold Arctic deep, far from the light. It was, everyone agreed, the only fitting name. Some worlds are named for kings and thunder. The far wanderers are named for patience. Its scattered companions each carry a small wonder. Eris, almost exactly Pluto's size, so distant that its discovery quietly redrew the family tree of the solar system. Quoll, which wears a delicate ring in a place where the textbooks say rings should not be able to exist. It wears it anyway, unbothered. The outer solar system, traveler, is where the rules grow soft and sleepy, and the worlds do as they please, slowly. More of them surface every few years, slow, dim, dignified dots with names like Gongong and Liliakuhonua, each discovery pushing the edge of home a little farther out. No probe has ever visited them. For now, they exist only as points of light and orbits of astonishing size. Worlds we know the way you know a distant relative. By name, by letter, and by the certainty that they are out there, getting on with it. And there is one more thing out here, perhaps. For years, astronomers have noticed that the far Wanderers' orbits lean together, gently, as if something large and unseen were shepherding them. A hidden world, heavier than the Earth, drifting somewhere in the deep. They call it Planet 9. No telescope has caught it yet. It may be there. It may be a coincidence of the dark. Either way, I find it a comforting thought to sleep on. Our own solar system, mapped for centuries, may still be keeping one last secret. The way every good home keeps one drawer, no one has fully sorted. And now, the dark. Not the dark of a room at night, which is full of furniture and street light and the hum of a house. This is the original darkness, the one that was here first, in every direction, for trillions of kilometers. There is very nearly nothing at all. Here is how empty this ocean truly is. A space the size of your entire bedroom out here holds fewer atoms than a single snowflake. One snowflake traveler. The room you are sleeping in tonight is a metropolis beyond counting compared to this place. Your slowest, shallowest breath is a crowd of trillions. Out here, matter is the rarity, and calm is the ordinary thing, stretching wallless in every direction. And here is something you should know about the temperature of this place, because it tells a secret about the universe. The deep dark is not entirely cold. Everywhere, in every direction, space itself holds a faint, even warmth, less than 3 degrees above the coldest possible cold. It is the leftover heat of the universe's very first morning, still fading 14 billion years later, like the warmth of an oven long after the bread is done. So when we say we travel through empty darkness, it is not quite true. We travel through an old, faint warmth that has been cooling since before there were stars to notice it. Even the void, traveler, is a little bit cozy if you know its history. And there is one more mercy here. Without air, there is no sound, no hum, no hiss, no distant traffic. The silence between the stars is the most complete silence that exists. And tonight, it is all yours. It is worth being honest about the size of this crossing, because the honesty itself is soothing. The fastest spacecraft humanity has ever flung outward would need well over 50,000 years to reach the star we are visiting tonight. 50,000 years, 10 times the age of the pyramids, spent in this one dark hallway. We cross it tonight in the only vehicle that was ever going to manage it. A resting mind, which travels at exactly the speed of a story. and notice what is missing here. No weather, no seasons, no mornings. No dawn has ever reached this place, and none is on the calendar. Every other place we have ever visited has a sky that changes. This place is the sky, and it holds perfectly still. If calm were a country, this would be its open countryside, stretching in every direction, border to border, forever. And yet, traveller, there is nothing here to fear. Emptiness is not hunger. It does not want anything from you. It is simply space, resting, the way you are, resting. The same stillness that fills the gulf between the stars is settling now over your shoulders, your hands, your breathing. The dark out here and the dark behind your eyelids are old friends. For a long while yet, we are not truly beyond home. All around us, invisible in the blackness, drifts the Oort Cloud, the sun's outermost belonging. Trillions of small mountains of ice, each one asleep, each one keeping a distance of millions of kilometers from its nearest neighbor, like courteous strangers in an endless waiting room. They have been waiting since the planets were half built. Now and then, once in a great age, a passing star tips one loose, and it begins the million-year fall toward the light, to blaze briefly in somebody's sky as a comet. The rest simply wait their turn, without impatience, because they do not know what impatience is. Every comet sleeping out here is a time capsule. They were made in the solar system's first million years, from the same cloud of dust and ice that made the Earth. And then they were flung out here, into the cold pantry, before the sun's warmth could ever change them. Nothing has touched them since. No summer, no erosion, no footprints. They are the freshest things in the solar system, and also the oldest. When one of them finally falls inward and lights up in Earth's sky, astronomers rush to study it, because its ice remembers the original recipe of everything, of the ground under your house, of the iron in your blood, of the water in the glass beside your bed. The great comet Hale-Bopp, which hung in the sky for 18 months in the 1990s, was one of these ancient messengers, arriving from this very cloud after thousands of years of falling. Some of the people who saw it will tell their grandchildren. That is what the Oort Cloud does, traveller. It mails the past to the future, one snowflake at a time. And once, not so long ago as the stars count time, another sun walked through this attic. 70,000 years ago, a small red star with a dim companion, Schultz's star, passed quietly through the outer reaches of our Oort Cloud, the closest any star has come in human memory. On Earth, people watched mammoths cross the plains, unaware that overhead, at the edge of everything, a stranger's lantern was drifting through the yard. It did no harm. It nudged a few sleeping comets, perhaps, whose slow falls toward the light are still in progress, and then it moved on into the dark, where it remains, receding still. The stars visit each other this way, on schedules of millennia, politely, without knocking. Even the neighborhood's traffic out here is gentle. This cloud stretches, believe it or not, more than a light year into the dark, a third of the road to tonight's destination. Home does not end at the last planet traveler. Home ends out here, in this quiet halo of sleeping snow. Even now, we are still inside the sun's long, gentle arms. Let us speak softly about distance. The word astronomers use is light year, and it sounds like time, but it is a length. How far light travels in 1 year. And light is not slow. Light crosses from the Earth to the Moon while you blink. It crosses the whole solar system in half a day. Now, give light a full year, 365 days at the fastest speed there is. No rest stops, no sleep. The distance it covers is 9.5 trillion kilometers. That is 1 light year, and the nearest star to our sun is more than 4 of them away. And because light takes time to travel, looking across these distances means looking back in time. The light arriving at your window tonight from Proxima, the nearest star, left it more than 4 years ago. You are not seeing Proxima as it is. You are seeing it as it was, when the world was 4 years younger, when you were 4 years younger. Look further, and you look further back. This means the night sky is not really a place, traveler. It is a museum. Every star is an old photograph, arriving late. Some of the light landing on Earth tonight left its star when there were no humans to see it, and it has been traveling faithfully ever since, just to end its journey in somebody's sleepy upward glance. The universe never stops delivering its mail. It only asks that we be patient with the postage. Here is one more way to feel the size of a light year before the numbers grow sleepy themselves. A beam of light could circle the whole Earth 7 times in a single second. 7 laps of every ocean, every continent, every city, in 1 heartbeat. And yet that same light, running flat out, needs more than 4 years to reach the next star. That is the neighborhood we live in. A place where even the fastest thing there is must pack for a long trip. Distance, out here, is easiest to feel as a ladder of light. Your bedside lamp reaches you in a billionth of a second. Intimacy, measured in light, is almost instant. The moon is 1.5 seconds away, which is why the voices of the astronauts always carried that gentle pause. The sun is 8 minutes. Neptune, 4 hours. And then the ladder's next rung simply isn't there for 4.25 years. The solar system is a cozy staircase. Traveler, at the bottom of a very tall, very quiet tower. But climb it patiently, as light does, and every rung arrives in its turn. Nothing about the tower is hostile. It is simply built to the universe's scale rather than ours. The way a cathedral ceiling is not meant to be touched, only to be under. Here is a gentler way to hold it. If you set out on foot for the nearest star, walking at an easy evening pace, never stopping to sleep, the journey would take you the better part of 1 billion years. 1 billion years of quiet walking. Traveler, mountains would rise and wear away beside the road. The continents would trade places behind you, where you could close your eyes, let the mind go soft, and be there in a single thought. Some distances are built for light, and some for dreams. And tonight, we travel by the second kind. Even this ocean breathes, barely. Astronomers call it the interstellar medium. A few shy atoms of hydrogen, a fleck of stardust here and there, thin veils of gas so faint that a candle would outshine a cloud of it the size of a country. But gather enough of almost nothing, over enough space and enough time, and it becomes everything. These faint breaths are the raw material of futures. Left alone for ages, they will slowly lean together and gather and warm, and one distant day, they will light up as stars. Every sun in the sky was once a wisp like this, too thin to see. And those few atoms drifting out here are not strangers. Almost every one of them has a history. Some were breathed out by dying stars in those generous final ages we spoke of on our last journey. Some have drifted for billions of years, passing from cloud to cloud, belonging to no one. What drifts between the stars, traveler, is a slow river of borrowed material, moving between one generation of suns and the next. The atoms in your own body meet this exact crossing once. Before there was an earth, the carbon in your skin and the oxygen in your breath drifted through a darkness, just like this one, unhurried, unclaimed, on their way from a dead star to an unborn one. You have already been here. Tonight is not a first visit, traveler. It is a homecoming at the gentlest possible speed. And the galaxy tends these thin clouds like a garden. Each year, across the whole Milky Way, about one sun's worth of drifting gas quietly condenses into new stars. One sun per year on average, for billions of years. A rhythm slower than any clock, but steadier than most. Somewhere in the galaxy tonight, a cloud like the ones around us is folding inward and beginning, very slowly, to glow. The universe plants at night, traveler. It always has. And in those thin clouds, astronomers keep finding the most domestic things. Traces of sugar drifting between the stars. Alcohol in clouds billions of kilometers wide. The molecules of cinnamon's cousin, of vinegar, of the amino acids that build living things, all assembling themselves, unhurried, in the cold, dark pantry between the suns. The universe, it turns out, stocks its shelves long before it opens the kitchen. Every world that will ever form in this galaxy will be baked from ingredients like these, gathered from shelves like these. When you sip something sweet tomorrow, remember where sweetness has been, out here between the sleeping suns, waiting patiently to become part of somebody's morning. So if the dark out here seems idle, it is not. It is doing what you are doing right now. It is resting and gathering itself quietly for a bright and distant morning. There is something else about our corner of the galaxy that almost no one knows. We live inside a bubble, a real one, a cavity in the interstellar gas 1,000 light years wide, blown clear by a family of giant stars that lived fast and ended in supernova millions of years ago. The shockwaves of those ancient endings swept the space around us almost clean and left behind this vast, thin-walled hollow. Astronomers call it the local bubble. Our sun drifted into it long ago, the way a boat drifts into a calm harbour, and we have been sailing through it ever since. And the bubble is not idle. At its far walls, where the old supernova winds finally piled the gas up thick, new stars are quietly forming right now. Astronomers have mapped it. The young stars near us trace the bubble's surface like dew along the rim of a glass. The explosions that emptied our neighbourhood also seeded its edges. Endings pushed outward and became beginnings, arranged in a circle around our sleeping house. And ours is not the only bubble. The galaxy is full of them, old cavities blown by old stars, pressing gently against each other like foam on the surface of a slow sea. Seen that way, the Milky Way is not a picture of stars at all. It is a picture of breath, exhalations overlapping exhalations, 100 billion years of sighs holding each other's shape in the dark. We only recently learned the shape of our own bubble. Astronomers mapped the positions of millions of dust clouds in 3 dimensions. And there it was all around us, a great lopsided cavern of calm with our little sun drifting near the middle of it. We had been living in the quietest room of the house all along and never knew because no one had ever turned on the hallway light. The sun did not always live in this quiet room, and it will not stay forever. It drifted in through one of the bubble's soft walls some 5 million years ago, and in another 8 million, it will drift out the far side, into whatever neighbourhood comes next. We are, in the most literal sense, passing through, guests in the calm, with the longest checkout time imaginable. Perhaps that is why the quiet feels like a gift, traveller. It is borrowed. All the best rooms are. Think of that as you settle deeper into your pillow. Your bedroom, your street, Your whole sky sits inside a cathedral of quiet, carved by stars that vanished before humans existed. Their ending made the calm we sleep in. The universe wastes nothing, traveler. Not even a goodbye. Out here in the dark between the lighthouses, there are travelers with no light of their own. Rogue planets. Whole worlds, some small and stony, some larger than Jupiter, that were nudged out of their young families long ago and set adrift, alone, with no sun to circle. No sunrise has ever touched them. Their skies are nothing but stars, all night, forever. Some may keep faint auroras glowing at their poles, a private lantern light over clouds no one will ever see. There may be billions of them in our galaxy alone, sailing between the stars like ships that slipped their moorings. You might wonder how anyone finds a black world in a black sky. The answer is lovely. We catch them bending starlight. When a rogue planet drifts, by pure chance, in front of a distant star, its gravity acts like a lens, and the star behind it brightens for a few hours, like a candle behind a glass of water. Then the wanderer moves on, and the star settles, and the sky keeps its secret again. A wink, and it is gone. From those brief winks, astronomers now believe the wanderers may outnumber the stars themselves. Billions of quiet worlds, adrift on the open dark, each one keeping its own counsel. And some, the large ones, may even keep a little warmth, deep inside, from their own slow cooling hearts. A private furnace under a thick blanket of cloud, glowing faintly in the dark for no one. Even out here, traveler, the universe tucks a hot water bottle under the covers now and then. And recently, telescopes peering into a stellar nursery found something no one expected. Pairs of these starless worlds, drifting through the dark together, 2 by 2, bound to each other, though bound to no sun. No one yet knows how they came to be. But it does soften the picture, doesn't it? Even out here, in the widest emptiness there is, the universe apparently prefers not to send everyone out alone. And some of the larger wanderers may carry the most surprising cargo of all: oceans, a thick blanket of ice above, the slow warmth of a rocky heart below, and in between, perhaps dark water, calm beyond anything a shore has ever known. No sun has ever risen over those seas, and none ever will. And it does not matter. Water does not need daylight to be patient. If those oceans exist, they are the stillest places in the universe. Seas without weather, without tides, without a single wave, sailing through the dark at the pace of a long sleep. And nothing about them is tragic. They are not lost. They are simply traveling the way everything out here is traveling, patiently and in silence. Wherever they are going, they will arrive rested. In 2017, a telescope on a Hawaiian mountaintop caught a faint dot crossing the sky faster than anything bound to our sun has a right to move. When its path was traced, it did not loop. It simply passed through. A straight guest from the stars, here for one season and gone. It was given a Hawaiian name, meaning a scout arriving from far away. And it earned it. The first confirmed visitor from another system. Small, elongated, tumbling gently, minding its own long business. Oumuamua left one small mystery behind, and it is a gentle one. As it departed, it accelerated very slightly, as if something more than gravity was seeing it off. The likeliest answer is the simplest. Buried ices, warmed by our sun for the first time in ages, sighing softly into space and nudging it along. A traveller, warmed briefly by a stranger's fire, walking a little lighter on the way out. That is the kind of mystery worth keeping, traveller. The kind whose every explanation is kind. The second visitor, the comet Borisov, was in its way even more comforting than the first, because it was not strange at all. It was a perfectly ordinary comet, ice and dust, and a soft, glowing tail, just like the ones our own Oort Cloud sends sunward. It had simply been made around another star by the same patient recipe, and then set loose to wander. Somewhere out there, around a sun we will never name, there is a snow globe like ours, mailing snowflakes into the dark. And fairness suggests the mail goes both ways. Over the ages, our solar system has surely shed its own pebbles and snowballs into the galaxy, little unsigned letters from home, drifting into night through the skies of other worlds. Perhaps one of them, aeons from now, will streak green and lovely over an alien sea, and something will look up. The universe has been introducing neighbours to each other this way forever, slowly, shyly, one thrown pebble at a time. By the way, the visitors keep coming. A third interstellar traveller swept through our solar system just recently, spotted by patient sky surveys, confirmed within days, and admired for a season on its way back out. 3 visitors in a single decade of looking, which suggests they have been passing through all along for 4.5 billion years, entirely unnoticed. The night has always had this quiet traffic. We simply learned, at last, to see the lanterns pass. And the count, astronomers suspect, will only keep growing, which means the crossing we are making tonight is not unusual at all. Bits and pieces of other star systems have been drifting through ours, and ours through theirs, for as long as there have been stars. The galaxy has always been one neighbourhood, trading pebbles over the fence, slowly, in its sleep. Somewhere in this same darkness, 2 small machines from Earth are making the crossing ahead of us. The Voyagers. We met them last time, sailing past the outer planets with their gold-plated cargo of music and greetings from home. They are out here now, in the true between, farther from home than anything our hands have ever made. The two of them left home through different doors, one climbing north out of the solar system's great disk, the other diving south, so that our species' two farthest travelers are drawing slowly apart, opening like a compass across the galaxy's page. The second Voyager is headed, in the very long run, toward the brightest lamp in Earth's night. In some 300,000 years, it will drift past the neighborhood of Sirius, the blue-white star we will greet later tonight. The mail and the traveler, for once, on the same road. Their speed is worth feeling once, slowly. 17 kilometers every second, from your city to the next country in the time it takes to pour a glass of water. And yet, at that pace, against the size of this ocean, the Voyagers are moving the way honey moves, gloriously, patiently, in no danger of arriving anywhere for tens of thousands of years. Speed and hurry, it turns out, are entirely different things. The fastest objects our species ever made are also the calmest. Nothing in the void will damage them. No rain out here. No rust. No noon. Long after their voices fade, the two of them will remain perfectly kept. Time capsules of the year they left. The greetings still in order. The music still in its grooves. Sealed and sailing. Unhurried longer than continents keep their shapes. Most of what we make to be used, traveler. These two we made to simply go. And going is a thing that cannot wear out. When the Voyager's last instruments finally sleep, a few years from now, nothing about their journey will change. They will simply stop calling home and continue. From machines, they will become monuments, two small markers of a species that once looked up, cast in aluminium and gold, patrolling the long dark on our behalf forever. Most monuments stand still and let the world pass by. Ours travel. And someone is always listening for them. 3 giant dish antennas, planted in 3 deserts around the Earth, in California, in Spain, in Australia, take turns tilting toward the Voyager's patch of sky as the planet rotates, so that at every hour of every day, one of them is listening. A whisper, 24 billion kilometers old, arrives, fainter than faint, and is caught and decoded and filed. Whatever else is true of our species, traveler, know this. We have kept a light on for 2 small travelers for 50 years, and we have never once hung up first. And when they arrive, wherever arriving turns out to mean, they will not be tired. The dark carries its travelers gently. It is, in its way, the safest road anything has ever been on. Let that be true of you tonight as well. Carried, preserved, on a long, soft road, with nothing to collide with, and nowhere you must be by morning. Turn around with me One more time. 2 years of light behind us now. And the sky back the way we came looks almost ordinary. Almost, because there, just left of that dim scatter of stars, sits one small golden point you would never pick out unless you knew. That is the sun. Not a blaze, not a glory, just a modest, warm, steady little star, doing its work without any need to be noticed. Every ocean, every summer, every voice you have ever heard is gathered around that single point of light, closer to it than your next breath is to you. The light reaching us here from the sun is already 2 years old. Think of what that means. The sunbeam arriving beside us now left home 2 years ago. Whatever it lit on its way out, a kitchen table, a summer street, the sea, all of that is 2 years in the past and still travelling outward, layer after layer, like rings in the grain of a tree. The universe keeps every day the sun has ever made, filed in order, moving away at the speed of light. Somewhere out there, in an expanding shell of old light, is the sunshine of your childhood, the exact afternoons. They are about as far away now as the stars we are visiting tonight, and they are still going, still real, still bright. Nothing you have lived is lost, traveller. It is simply farther along on its journey than you are. There is a photograph astronomers dream of taking someday. Our sun from another star's world, one warm point in a stranger's night sky. If it is ever taken, remember what will be inside that one warm point. You, everyone, all of it. When the frame is wide enough, traveller. Every picture of the sky is a family photo, and we are always in it, whether or not anyone thought to look. Keep drifting past tonight's harbour, a few dozen light years more, and the sun would slip quietly below the reach of naked eyes altogether. Our whole address, unlisted, and yet nothing about that is lost. A house does not vanish because you can no longer see it from the road, traveller. It only proves how far you were trusted to wander. From out here, all the noise of the world is invisible. All that remains visible is the light. Perhaps that is the truest picture of home anyone has ever taken. Keep it somewhere soft, traveller, and let it warm the edge of your sleep. And now, ahead of us, the harbour lights, 2 golden stars, close together, growing slowly out of the dark. Alpha Centauri, the nearest bright household to our own. For every sailor the sky has ever had, in every age, these 2 have been the next lights down the shore. Sailors in Earth's southern seas have known these lights forever. Alpha Centauri is the 3rd brightest star in the whole night sky, one of the 2 famous pointers that aim at the Southern Cross, the stars that guided canoes across the Pacific and ships around the capes. For thousands of years, people found their way home by the very light we are now arriving at. it seems only fair, traveller. Tonight, the lighthouse gets a visitor. And here is a small secret about these harbour lights. They are coming to meet us. The whole Centauri system is drifting our way, closing the gap by 22 kilometers every second. In 28,000 years, it will hang a full light year nearer, noticeably brighter in the skies of whoever is here to see it. The distances between neighbours, it turns out, are not fixed. Sometimes, very slowly, the houses lean toward each other. The stars we are approaching belong to the constellation of the Centaur, named long ago for Chiron, the gentlest of his kind, the wise teacher of the old stories, the healer who raised heroes in a quiet cave and asked nothing in return. Sailors steered by his stars for 3,000 years. It seems right, somehow, that the nearest lights to home were given to the mildest of the mythical beings, the one who taught and healed and kept the fire lit. And there, well below them, almost shy, a third companion, a tiny ember of deep red, so faint that no human eye has ever seen it without a telescope, even though it is the closest star of all. Proxima, the near one. We will visit each of them, slowly, the way you walk through a quiet town at night, looking kindly at the lit windows. The two golden ones are suns in the fullest sense. Alpha Centauri A little brighter and grander than our sun. Alpha Centauri B, a little smaller and cooler, more amber than gold. They orbit one another in a slow, devoted waltz that takes 80 years to complete, about the length of a human life for a single turn. Do those twin suns keep planets? Astronomers believe they can. Each star holds a calm zone close around itself, where a world could circle, undisturbed by the other. Candidate signals have flickered in the data for years. Worlds proposed, questioned, sought again. The looking continues, night after patient night, from mountaintop telescopes in the very hemisphere those stars shine over. Whatever the answer, it is waiting there, 4 light years from your pillow, in the oldest kind of suspense there is. The good kind, the kind that can wait until morning. These twins are older than our sun by more than 1 billion years. They were already waltzing before the Earth existed, before there was an ocean anywhere in our system, before the first morning of the first day of home. Whatever worlds they keep have had a head start of 1 billion years of evenings. It is pleasant to wonder, without needing an answer, what 1 billion extra years of quiet evenings might come to. When the twins draw near in their waltz, each one shines in the other's sky like 100 full moons, not a second day, but a silver evening deeper than any Earth has known. Their worlds, if worlds they have, know 3 kinds of night. The full dark, the silver night of the companion, and the brief, true black between. Imagine a calendar of nights, traveller, each with its own shade of quiet. Somewhere, 4 light years away, that calendar is turning right now. At their closest, they draw about as near to each other as Saturn is to our Sun. At their farthest, they drift apart to Pluto's distance, and then, unhurried, lean back in. They have danced this way for 6 billion years, longer than our Sun has existed, and neither has ever missed a step. If you stood on a world of theirs, you would have 2 shadows some evenings, and 2 sunsets, 1 gold, 1 amber, a few hours apart. And then there is the small one, Proxima Centauri, a red dwarf, barely larger than Jupiter, glowing not with the white roar of our Sun, but with the deep, patient red of an ember at the back of a hearth. If you saw it up close, you might not think star at all. You might think lantern. But do not be fooled by its softness. Proxima is the most enduring kind of star the universe knows how to make. It spends its fuel so carefully, so slowly, that it will still be glowing, much as it does tonight, in 4 trillion years. When every bright star in tonight's sky has long since gone out, this little red lantern, and billions like it, will still be keeping the dark company. Every so often, it is true, the little lantern flares. Proxima's tangled magnetism snaps and reconnects, and for a few minutes the ember brightens sharply before settling back to its patient glow. Even the calmest sleepers stir now and then, and Proxima is no different. A turn beneath the blankets, a sigh, and then stillness again, for weeks at a time. Its little planets ride these moods as they have for billions of years, and the long quiet always returns. It always returns. And here is the humbling part, the part I love. Proxima, the nearest star to our Sun in the entire universe, cannot be seen from Earth with the naked eye. It is too dim. Humanity looked at the night sky for 200,000 years without ever once seeing its closest neighbor, until a telescope in South Africa finally caught it in 1915. Nearness and brightness are different gifts, traveler. The ones closest to us are not always the ones who shine loudest. Sometimes they are simply there, faithfully, a breath below the threshold of sight. For a long time, astronomers wondered whether Proxima truly belonged to the Golden Twins, or was only passing by. The answer, measured at last, is lovely. It belongs. It circles the pair on an orbit 500,000 years long, the widest leash in the neighborhood. Faithful at a distance of 1/5 of a light year. Even the shy one, it turns out, is family, keeping to the edge of the garden, but never once leaving it. The universe is not owned by its loudest fires, traveler. It belongs, in the long run, to the gentle ones, the careful ones, the ones that know how to rest. Around that little red lantern circles a world. Proxima b, they call it. A rocky planet, a touch heavier than Earth, riding an orbit so close and so quick that its year lasts 11 of our days. And close, here, is not fierce. Proxima's fire is so mild that this near orbit is exactly where water could be water. The world likely keeps one face always toward its star, the way our moon keeps one face toward us. Which means that on Proxima b, geography is time. One side lives in an endless dim red afternoon. The other rests in an endless starry night. And between them runs a single boundary that circles the whole planet. A band of eternal evening. A year on Proxima b lasts 11 days, which does something delightful to time. If you lived there, you would circle your sun 33 times in one of Earth's years. Birthdays would come weekly. Anniversaries would pile up like snow. And yet, nothing about the place would feel hurried, because the light never changes. The same ember sun, fixed on the same horizon, the same endless dusk. A world where the calendar races and the evening stands perfectly still. There may be no better place in the galaxy, traveler, for someone who loves birthdays but hates mornings. And Proxima b may not be alone. Astronomers have found signs of at least one more world in that little system, farther out, colder, circling the ember through the deep of its night. Small suns, it turns out, keep families too. The universe does not reserve companionship for the bright. And because the sun of that world never moves, you could do something there that can be done nowhere on Earth. You could walk from night into day, set out from the dark side, stroll toward the fixed red glow, and watch dawn rise not with the hours, but with the miles, the sky warming step by step until the ember clears the horizon and stands still again. On Proxima b, sunrise is not a time. It is a place. You could visit it whenever you wished and leave when you had seen enough. And the sunrise would wait there behind you, always in progress, always halfway. We found that world by noticing its star sway. Proxima b's small gravity tugs its sun back and forth as it circles, and the swaying is slow beyond belief. About walking pace. Astronomers measured a star, 4 light-years away, drifting toward us and away from us at the speed of a person strolling through a park. And from that stroll, they read out an entire world. That is what patience can do, traveler. It can weigh a planet using nothing but a lantern sway. Stand there, and the red sun sits on the horizon forever, 3 times wider than our sun looks from Earth, but soft enough to gaze at. The sky above shades from ember to violet to star-salted black. It is always the moment just after sunset. Somewhere in this galaxy, traveler, there is a place where bedtime never ends. And it is our nearest neighbor. I have always found that comforting beyond words. Proxima is not rare, quite the opposite. Of every 10 stars in the galaxy, roughly 7 are red dwarfs like her, small, dim, frugal, and nearly immortal. The bright, showy stars you can name, the Siriuses and the Vegas, are the exceptions. The galaxy, in truth, is mostly nightlights. The secret of their endurance is gentleness. A great star burns its fuel in a furious open blaze and dies young. A red dwarf stirs itself slowly, overs and over, cycling every atom of fuel through its core, wasting nothing, hurrying nowhere. It is the difference between a bonfire and a candle in a lantern. The bonfire wins the evening. The lantern wins the age. And so, in a future too far away to imagine properly, when the last of the great bright stars has faded, the universe will not go dark. It will go red and soft and calm. Trillions of little lanterns, burning on and on through the long cosmic night, patient as ever. The universe's last light, traveler, will not be a blaze. It will be a night light. I have always thought that was exactly right. "40 light years from home, one of these embers holds the most famous family of worlds we know, TRAPPIST-1, a star barely larger than Jupiter, circled by 7 rocky planets, several of them at just the right warmth for liquid water. 7 worlds around one nightlight, packed so close that from any one of them, the others hang in the sky like moons. Whole skies of neighboring worlds, lit ember red, forever. The little stars, it turns out, are the great collectors. The embers do have their youth, it should be said. A young red dwarf flares often, restless as any young thing, but the temper passes. The middle age of a red dwarf is measured in hundreds of billions of calm years, and the old age in trillions more. They are the universe's marathoners. A quick, nervous start, and then the longest, steadiest stride there will ever be. Proxima is barely out of its youth, and it has already been calmer, for longer than our sun will ever live to be. And here is the fact I find gentlest of all. Red dwarfs live so long that the universe has not yet existed long enough for even one of them to die. Every red dwarf ever kindled in 14 billion years is still burning tonight. Not one has ever gone out. In a universe famous for endings, there is an entire family of stars that has never once had a funeral. Beyond the Centauri household, the neighborhood carries on. 6 light years out, Barnard's star, a quick little red dwarf hurrying across the sky, the fastest moving star we know. 8 light years, and there is Sirius, the brilliant blue-white lamp of Earth's winter evenings, with a tiny, dense companion, a white dwarf no bigger than the Earth, circling it like a memory. That tiny companion of Sirius deserves a moment of wonder. It is a white dwarf, the folded up heart of a star that died before recorded history. and it packs the mass of a whole sun into a sphere the size of the Earth. A teaspoon of it would weigh tons. It was the first of its kind humans ever found, and it puzzled astronomers for decades. A star heavier than the sun, dimmer than a porch light. The universe enjoys hiding its heaviest things behind its faintest light. And the neighbourhood does not hold still. The stars around us drift like slow boats, each on its own heading. Barnard's star is easing closer, century by century. Others are easing away. Within a few tens of thousands of years, Proxima will no longer be our nearest neighbour. Another small star will have taken its turn. The street rearranges itself, house by house, over ages. Nothing dramatic, just the calm shuffling of a neighbourhood, settling in for a very, very long evening. And we now believe that, on average, every star in the galaxy keeps at least one planet. Every single porch light on the long street has a household. Within a dozen light years of your bed tonight, there are some 30 stars, which means dozens of worlds, warm and cold, stormy and still. Every one of them turning through its own night right now, unaware of yours. The universe is not a hall of lamps, traveller. It is a neighbourhood of homes. Some of the neighbours are just setting their tables. Epsilon Eridani, 10 light years out, is a young orange sun wrapped in belts of dust and rubble, a solar system still under construction, its unfinished world sweeping lanes through the debris, exactly as ours once did. Look at it, and you look at our own baby pictures. The street has households of every age, traveller, the ancient embers, the busy middle-aged sons. And next door, a nursery with the furniture still arriving. Wolf 359, Leland, Ross, Luton. Small names for small hearths, most of them red dwarfs, most of them quiet, each of them somebody's entire sky. Say them once, slowly, like a list in a lullaby, and let them blur together. Little fires, banked low, dotted through the dark, keeping their own counsel until morning. If you stood on a world in the Centauri system tonight and looked up, the strangest thing would be how familiar it all is. The Milky Way arches overhead, exactly as it does at home. Orion still strides. The Great Bear still wheels. 4 light years, it turns out, is not far enough to rearrange the furniture of heaven. And there is one more thing in that sky. Invisible, but real. Earth's radio whispers. A century of them have already washed past these worlds. The first broadcasts, the old songs, the moon landing narrated in 100 languages. All of it swept through this system decades ago and kept going. A thin, expanding bubble of voices, now more than 100 light years wide. If anyone out here had been listening, they would know us, not by our wars or our cities, but by our music and our weather reports. Which is, if you think about it, a fair portrait. a species that sings and worries about rain. And because light takes 4 years to make the trip, anyone watching Earth from here tonight would see our world as it was 4 years ago. Somewhere in that old light, you are 4 years younger, going about a day you have long since filed away. The universe never loses the past, traveler. It just carries it outward, gently, at the speed of light, like a tide that only goes out. Every night, sky is somebody else's yesterday. And from many of those worlds, one glory is guaranteed. With no city glow anywhere in light years, the Milky Way itself owns the ceiling. A river of 100 billion suns, arched from horizon to horizon, bright enough to cast the faintest of shadows. Every dark world in the galaxy sleeps under that same fresco. It is the one view every window in the universe shares. Traveler. And tonight, if your sky is clear and your town is kind, a pale version of it is over your roof as well. Only one thing has changed. Over in Cassiopeia, that bright W of stars your grandmother could point to, there is a new star tonight, a modest golden one, turning the W into something more like a small crown. That new star is the sun. From the nearest shore of the galaxy, home is not a place. It is one warm letter added to a constellation. The light that leaves that little golden star tonight will travel 4 years and 3 months to reach this place. Whatever it touches when it arrives, it will carry tonight with it. This night, this room, this hour of your rest. Light is the universe's way of keeping everything, traveler. Nothing shone is ever lost. It is only still traveling. And this is true of every light in your bedroom window, traveler. The lamp you switched off tonight sent its last glow out through the glass, and a portion of it slipped past the clouds, past the moon, and is on its way here. 4 years from now, 40 years, forever. No light ever stops. It only travels. The universe is filled, wall to wall, with everything that has ever shone. Every lamp, every candle, every star, every nightlight in every child's room, all of it still going, all of it still on its way somewhere. So do not think of the dark outside your window as empty tonight. It is thick with traveling light, the porch lamps of 30 suns, the old broadcasts, the 4-year-old daylight of Earth itself, all of it in transit, all of it faithful. You are lying tonight in the middle of the universe's postal service, and every single letter eventually arrives. One last soft thought about starlight, and then we will let it carry you. The light that touches your hands on any clear night is physically old. Photons that left their stars years, centuries, millennia ago, ending their long flight on your skin. You have been touched by ancient light every night of your life, traveler. Tonight, somewhere on your blanket, a small patch of it is arriving even now, right on time, having crossed the exact ocean we crossed together. So somewhere out here, 4 years from now, tonight will arrive, soft and golden and 4 years gentler. Your sleep, this very sleep you are drifting into, will one day be starlight in somebody else's sky. Sleep, knowing that it is the closest thing to forever that anyone is offered. Our crossing rests here for tonight, in the warm light of the neighbour stars. We came through the great dark, past the sleeping comets and the wandering worlds, and the ocean turned out to be what the ocean always is at night: quiet, patient, and kind to those who drift. Far ahead, past these harbour lights, there is a faint blush in the darkness, hundreds of light years on, a place where the thin breath between the stars gathers itself into clouds, and the clouds fold slowly into newborn suns. A nursery, glowing rose and teal in the deep. That is where we will go, you and I. Another night. The stars are being born out there right now, unhurried, and they will wait for us. Hold the map of tonight gently before you fold it away. One warm little star behind us, holding everything you love. One ocean of patient dark, crossed. 3 new suns ahead of us. 2 gold, 1 ember red, keeping their worlds the way you keep your blanket. The universe turned out to be as it always turns out to be, calmer than anyone warned you, and kinder than anyone promised. Let your breathing settle all the way down now, to that slow tide it finds on its own. The far wanderers are keeping their appointments. The lanterns are passing politely in the dark. The twins are mid-waltz. The ember is glowing. The little world of eternal evening is resting on its fixed horizon. 4 light years of night lie between all of that and your pillow, and every centimetre of it is calm. And when we meet again, we will follow that rose-coloured glow on the horizon all the way in, to the towering cradles of gas where suns are switched on, one by one, to the place where every star in tonight's sky, and the one that will warm your window tomorrow, first opened its eye. The nursery is patient. The pillars will hold their shape. And this room, this bed, this breath will be right here to sail from. For now, let the red lantern keep its watch. Let the twin suns keep their waltz. Let the little golden star in Cassiopeia keep the porch light on for the both of us. Everything out here is calm and patient and exactly where it should be. And so are you. Good night, traveller. Sleep now.